out and you want to start a DJ, the first thing is you really got to love music. You got to, okay? Because you won't be able to keep your interest long enough to follow it through as a career if you're not really into music. I would just say, like I say when I train myself, it came from repetition, just practicing over and over and over and over till I came up with a sound that I guess would be considered mine.
Your sound.
Yeah,
Your signature.
yeah.
That makes sense. You have a family?
Yes, I have a son, sisters, my mother and father are gone now. And we have a real close-knit family for the most part. Every family has their differences, but for the most part, we're really close.
Anybody else in the family a DJ, internet radio host?
Well, actually, I had a cousin that I kind of started with him too. He doesn't DJ anymore. His name is Wayne. We call him Duke.
Okay.
Dwayne Johnson. He started. Okay, let me put it like this. When I said Laura was my first club, actually it wasn't. I did a club on I think it was like 75th Street, a place called Roberts, a little place over here between Stewart and the Dan Ryan. And he had this stereo equipment. I had never seen stereo equipment like this before. He's like, cuz, we gonna go down here and we gonna DJ, cause I got this equipment now, and we gonna be some DJs. So we went down there and we played the club, and from there I really started feeling, I like this, but I didn't have any equipment at the time. Like I said, I'm still with them closing plays at home. You know what I'm saying? But he had a real system. I hadn't seen nothing like that, but I'm like, that's the way to go. So as it moved on, my cousin, how can I say this? He has a different type of ear for music. He likes rock, heavy metal, something like that. And I'm like, I ain't feeling none of that. and in the clubs, that's not what they want you playing. That's not what really they feel it, because they come out the party out to no rock and heavy metal. But so I progressed, and he gave it up.
So do you play any instruments? Because you said you had to.
Actually,
really like music.
It's interesting you asked me that. I used to, my stepfather, Jesse Jackson, not the Jesse Jackson.
Oh, okay.
When he got out the military, he was a musician. My mother and them used to perform in nightclubs.
Oh, really? What did she do?
Sing. They were singers. He played guitar, keyboard, stuff like that. He had a band he put together. He got my mother and my aunt and them together, and they used to perform in different clubs, Chapel Rail, stuff like that. And I used to listen. I used to be at the rehearsals all the time.
Okay.
Listening, because people say I can sing too. So
what do you say?
I'm saying they say I can sing.
What
I have
do
not
you say?
performed.
Can you sing?
I think so, because I've talked to my partner from the Manhattans, and they had told me before I can audition as one of the backup singers.
Okay.
I never pursued it.
Luther started as a backup singer.
Yeah, I never pursued it because I have so much other stuff going on. I'm a concert promoter. It's so much other stuff going on. You know what I'm saying?
What was your first concert
That I actually was part of?
Yeah, that you promoted.
I was we was at a place called the Crow's Nest in Atlanta, Georgia, and that's when I met my partner from the Manhattans, Charles Hardy. And from that point on, we started really bonding, and they're like, we like the station, we like what you're doing with it, and we think that we'd like for you to promote us. And one day,
what did that promoting process? What did you do to promote them?
I do the venues, the contracts, the arrangements, the dates.
Okay.
My partner from the Manhattans, Charles Hardy, provides the entertainers.
Okay.
We have like over 50 groups, Temptations, Manhattans, Intruders, Ray Goodman and Brown that we promoted. It's so many.
What about the Delphics?
They're one of them. Okay. They're one of them. We got them too.
Okay. All right. So you help promote fundraisers for different organizations to help them acquire the money that they need to operate?
Well, what we're doing is we have a tour we put together. It's called the Old School Throwback Tour.
Old School Throwback Tour.
Right, because it's all old school artists. So what me and Mr. Hardy had decided, and we talked to a lot of the other artists we represent, is times are hard out here now. And because of so many things going on with our economy and in our neighborhoods, we decided that because all these people have been supporting all these artists for so many years, it was time for us to give back to the communities. So what we're trying to do right now as we speak is book our concert tour in as many cities as possible, work with the cities to donate 50 to 70% of the proceeds from the gate to community organizations, churches, schools, whatever, however we see we can.
Lady, did y'all hear that bill? I heard that.
I mean, if you got a non-for-profit that we can help raise funds with, you know.
The organizations, they fill out applications to.
You talk to me.
Okay, well,
I'm the promoter. I'm the promoter.
Okay.
So you talk to me about we want to do a fundraiser. We like to have a couple of groups, and I'll tell you who I can get available for you. And basically, you can ask for who you want first, and I can tell you that'll be my first. I can see if I get who you want.
Okay.
If I can't get who you want, I'll tell you what this is who I can bring in for right now, because it's always based on availability because they're always on tour.
Exactly. Makes sense. Makes sense. So tell us a little bit about your personal life in terms of as you were growing up. You know, you have brothers and sisters. Or what was that like?
Real talk, I had a real rough upbringing, not family wise, because I had a great family structure, but I was bad. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You know,
Were you gang affiliated?
no, I've been gang jumped because I wouldn't join, but about 13 guys beat me down real good because I would not join. But I was like, I'm more afraid of my stepfather and my father than you, so I just have to take this beating because I know when I go in there, I'm going to get it again. So, and I got to live with that.
Yeah.
So I was defiant to the gangs. They didn't appreciate it, and I had issues with them, and they made sure I understood we had some issues.
Okay.
You know, I grew up on 56th and Emerald in Inglewood.
Okay. You're in Harvard.
I got one gang on one block, and as soon as you cross the street, there's another gang. It was rough over there.
Ever had any issues with drug abuse, alcoholism, any of that?
Yes, all of the above. I mean, I've never really been an alcoholic. I really never drank. I drank to be sociable because I worked in all the nightclubs. And most of the clubs I worked in, I was also the manager.
Okay.
So I spent a lot of time in the club. But I had drug addiction problems from the time, I would say, my mid-20s to my early 30s.
Okay.
You know, I'm in the limelight, I'm meeting all the hustlers, everybody who's who in the streets, even with bad influences. Everybody knew me because of the clubs. All the nightclub owners knew me because they all wanted me at their clubs. So everybody that was some type of hustler or bad influence knew who I was, and they kind of gravitated towards me.
How did you get away from that? How did you,
It was a twofold thing. As I mentioned before, Herb Kim was one of my mentors. Well, I would say really my mentor in my early part of my career. And I had gotten in a really, really bad way. I had lost my grandmother, and it really, I kind of spiraled from there. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like she was my everything. I got to the point where I had a really bad drug habit. And I ran into Herb Camp. After about 4 or 5 years into it, he hadn't seen me for a while. And he was like, Master D, you've been off the grid. What's going on with you? And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't have it like that anymore. I'm not feeling it. And he said something to me that kind of started to change. Because he pointed out to me that out of all the DJs I've met, I've not met many that have your musical knowledge, your voice, your personality. You know, this is your calling, and you're throwing a God-given gift away. This is what you're supposed to be here for. This is how he approached me with it. And I thought about that after he said it. The other thing that changed my career or my life as far as my drug addiction, I had an episode with my son. His name is John. He was an infant, and I had just pretty much lost it. I was just gone, basically. So one day he was visiting, and I have a crack pipe in one hand, and I got my son in the other arm. And I'm saying to myself, I'm looking back and forth like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You had to recognize it.
Yeah, this is crazy. This can't go on. I'm like, there's no way I can be a good father to him at this pace doing this here. And I tell my son to this very day, because of trying to give you a better life and being a better father to you, you probably saved my life.
That's probably
Because I wouldn't have stopped if it wasn't for you trying to make sure that I could give you a better opportunity in life.
That's a great statement. It's a great moment.
It's a powerful thing to have. We said earlier about the relationship that you had with your grandmother, where they may have been the first love, or the first genuine of somebody that you really adore your parents.
I love my mother and father, don't get me wrong. They were great people. And when I talk about it, I get kind of emotional when I talk about my grandmother. But she was my rock. I could talk to her about anything. I could lean on her for anything. And she never judged me. You know, I mean, no matter good or bad or whatever, she was like, it don't matter, baby.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You are you, and you're going to be okay. You know, y'all excuse me, because like I said, that makes me emotional talking about it.
That's all right.
And it's a
We
beautiful experience coming from a man that in our world.
Okay.
As I was coming up, I'm 70, and all I ever heard was a man that's not supposed to cry.
Well, that ain't true.
That's a problem.
So the difference is this: to see that
Yeah.
the pouring of it means love. You're talking.
I mean, it's
about,
real.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking about what's real to me, and this is how it affects me.
Amen.
You know, I love my grandmother immensely. Like I said, when I lost her, that made me spiral because it's like I had lost everything.
Yes.
You know, the one person I can go to for anything and never judge me, will always have my back and always be behind me, no matter what I did, good or bad, was gone. You know, that was hard.
That's right. That's right. Well, we appreciate you sharing that with us. Is there anything that you would like for our audience to know in regard to your recovery, your capacity to do what you've done? I mean, you've come out of that, and now you're.
I just have to say that for most people, especially these young children, these kids that's coming up with the peer pressure they get, they just have to understand there's something better out there for you. You know, no matter how much they try to pressure you into being one thing, you can always be something better. And I learned that, and I share that when I do mentorship, talking with kids. I let them know how all the stuff you're going through, I've been through it.
Yeah.
All the stuff, these people trying to pressure you to be this type, and I've been through all of that. I've been beat down by gangs because I wouldn't join them. But at the end of the day, your life is what you make of it.
That's right. That's the message we got to give our young people. That they have the choice to make their lives whatever they want it to be.
You know, they can't make you be what you want to allow them to make you be.
That's right. That's right.
You give into it, and that's when you start having problems.
That's right.
You know, your job as a young child or infant or someone coming up that want to have an idea of a better life for yourself, or maybe later on a different type of career. And the funny thing about it, as we talk about her camp, I've got to tell you this part. When I was 4 years old, I told my mother that I'd never get married. I'd never been married. I'm a lifetime bachelor. Really? But the other thing they teased me about is, remember when Herb Kid used to do the Wahoo Man and all of that?
Yes.
I used to listen to the radio all the time. I couldn't wait till Herb Kid came on. Oh, yes, the Wahoo Man, that's my stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I used to tell my mother and them, that's what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be just like Herb Kid. Now, most people at 4 and 5 years old don't get to, you know, like people say, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a policeman. They don't get to live out what they say they want to be as a child.
That's right.
Or let alone get to meet the person they actually idolized and work with them. You know, it was phenomenal for me, that experience. But I've always said as a child, I'm going to be a radio DJ, blah, 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 blah. And like you asked me about instruments and stuff, I actually used to play guitar, I used to teach guitar.
No.
My stepfather taught me when I went to Dunbar. they had a band, but they didn't have any guitar players, so they didn't have, the band leader didn't know how to teach that particular instrument. When I used to come to Dunbar all the time with my guitar strapped around my back. You know what I'm saying? Because I was loving playing guitar, and I got into little bands in the neighborhood and stuff like that. But the experience of it was phenomenal. But when I went to the military, what stopped me from playing guitar, and this is how another reason I got into DJing. I went to the military, and my aunt gave one of my friends my guitar while I was in the military. He broke it.
Oh, wow. That was not enough.
So I'm like, when I come back, I'm upset. My guitar gone? How did you give somebody my guitar? You know, I was really upset about that. But then I started learning about, like I said, I always said I want to be a radio DJ.
Okay.
Then I started getting in that back room. I started it before I went to the military.
Okay.
Already toying with it. Like I say, doing little social club stuff. But when I got out to the military, it went full blast.
Okay.
Because once I realized I couldn't play guitar no more, because I thought the guitar my stepfather gave me was a Gibson guitar. Those things cost a lot. And right now, one of those guitars is maybe $3,000 to $10,000.
Really?
And he gave it to me, just gave it to me. So I know I'm not going to be able to replace that. So back to the DJ thing. What really made me want to be a DJ more than anything else, I used to, like I said, I used to live on 98th Street, right between Vincent's and True. They had a club called Disco 95 on 95th, right between Racine and True. And I walked in there. Mind you, when I first started going to nightclubs, I was underage.
Okay.
Because I've always had beards and mustache and stuff. People always thought I was like in my 20s. I was only 15 years old. I used to mount hair, all type of stuff. Okay. So when I walked into Disco 95, I'll never forget it. The first time I ever heard the song Pathway to Glory, Noggins and Messina was blasting on their system. I never heard a system like that. And I never heard it played like that. I'm like, ooh. Now the Copper Box is only a few blocks away. About 2 years later, came around the corner on 93rd and Ashland. Because it was like the Copper Box, a bowling alley, and the club. It was two clubs in the bowling alley, all connected.
Okay.
So I would spin at the Copper Box. My friends, Mr. G and them, was at the club. So I would go back and forth. Back and forth. I'd come over here and spin because of George and Derek Norfleet being so good, I couldn't get a lot of time in the Copper Box.
Okay.
They had the Copper Box rocking. I was an alternate, but what Willie and Chris understood about me was he got a lot of talent. We don't want to lose him, but there's no place for him here. So they had another club downtown called the Gazebo, right off Wacker. Say, you know what, we're going to send you to the Gazebo. I'm going to tell you a funny story about that.
Okay.
They said, we're going to send you to the Gazebo so you can hone your craft, you know what I'm saying? So I already said I was at Ronnie's Ale Factory too, which is, they're down in the loop, maybe about 10 minutes away from each other.
Okay.
So I went to Ronnie's first because I got the job there first before they sent me to the Gazebo. But I'm big-headed, you know what I'm saying? I done got good, everybody was nasty DJ. So what happened was, Chris and Woody told me to go audition at the Gazebo. So I didn't prepare. I went to the Gazebo, got laughed out the place. It was my most humiliating moment ever as a DJ. I went in there, but what happened was, I knew music real well and I could spit music real good. But when I went to the Gazebo, it was a DJ named Ryan Garrison.
Okay.
And it was his music, his setup, and I didn't know where his music was at. When I went in there to play on it, I'm playing a song, what am I going to play behind it? Because I don't know what he got. So I was all out of kilter, man. You know? And everybody you think we should give him our chance as a DJ here? They like, boo, get that butt out of here. I mean, literally.
Taught you a valuable lesson.
Literally. So when I went back to the Copper Box, Chris and Willie and them heard about what happened. Because they sent me down there to audition. And we sent him there because he's good. So they asked me, we heard you was terrible. What happened? And I explained to him, I said, I wasn't prepared.
Okay.
I didn't take my own music. I just felt that I could just walk in on this man's set. Because when I came in there, when I introduced myself to everybody, they told me, that's Master D for the audition. I'm like, yeah. I'm finna rock this place and turn this out. I'm finna take this spot.
Okay.
And then when they moved me out of there, Willie and them was like, man, we didn't expect that. So what happened? So when I explained, I said, I had to take my music. got to prepare right, blah, blah, blah. So they talked to, since it was their club, they told me we're going to send them back. They're like, no, I'm going to send them back down here. No, we're going to send them back because we know he's better than that.
Okay.
So the next time I went back, I
You
took
did
my
your
own music.
Stuff.
I took the DJ's job that night.
Lesson well learned.
Yes. That night, Ryan was no longer the house DJ. They offered him a management spot because we want him as our DJ. But yeah, it was a lesson well learned.
Yeah.
And the humiliation, I'm like, I'm not going through that again. Because when I came in the second time, my mind said, okay, I owe y'all, because y'all laughed at me and moved me up out of here. I'm like, I'm fit to tear this place up tonight. You know, yes I did. Yes I did.
So let me ask you a question. How many of the recording artists over the years have you been able to just pick up the telephone and have a conversation?
Huh.
What about anybody from the P-Funk?
I don't know. I met actually George Clinton's niece. I've never met any of the Parliaments or Funkadelics personally. But when you say how many artists can I pick up the phone and talk to, we talking hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a few.
So again, if you give a recommendation to our youth who may want to follow in your footsteps in terms of being a DJ, promoter, concert entrepreneur, what would you say to them so that they know to watch out for various pitfalls?
Well, the thing is, in the entertainment industry, you're always going to have some negative peers that try to steer you in the wrong direction. You know, because they're looking out for themselves, not out for you. And they'll come to you, like they said about Eve with the apple. They'll come to you with something so sounds so promising. We gonna get this together, and we gonna grow this together and all that. But really, what it is your talent. They're trying to count on to help everybody come up. So I would tell the younger guys, just depend on yourself and believe in yourself. That's what it really takes. I've had so many people tell me what I couldn't do and couldn't be when I first started Turn Radio. The first thing I was told was a bunch of black people can't do nothing together and be successful.
That's what you were told?
Mm-hmm. I also heard this is not going to work. You're going to be wasting your life, your money. All this is never going to be anything. Well, not to brag, but Turn Radio was in our, I'll say about our fourth, maybe fifth season. And we was on Line 365. Line 365 at the time had about 10,000 stations in different genres. So we're listed in 3 different genres. After the 4th or 5th year, we had actually became #1 in 2 out of 3 genres.
Ooh.
And the other one we was #1 and we was in the top 3. So we're talking about worldwide recognition because these are worldwide stations we're competing with. So for someone to tell me what you can accomplish, what you can't be, you can't listen to that. You know, you can be whatever you want to be, do whatever you want to do,
right.
if you just dedicate yourself to it and focus. And focus on what you want to do.
That's right. I agree with that.
You know, and that's one of the lessons I learned the hard way because after a while, you know, it was rough starting. And I started kind of believing this ain't we're gonna never get this to be. But we started hitting a stride at some point and everything started changing. Like right now, I got DJs from Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, and we just signed 3 from the UK.
Come on.
That's beautiful. So if someone wanted to get in contact with you, your information.
They can call me at 773-818-3966. And if you want to check out Turn Radio, our website is turnradio.online. It'll give you all the information you need about us. It'll tell you how to reach the DJs. When we got concerts coming, Ticketmaster tickets is right there.
Okay.
So our website is very informational.
Give us that number.
The guitar website is turnradio.online. Just one more.
Turnradio.online, where you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen, on the Woman to Woman TV show. I'm your host, Wanda Carter, and Margot, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask them before we end our program? And then Rose?
I only have one, because I've asked your name. I only have one.
Sure.
Where you are right now, what would that grand finale as you continue to evolve, what would that grand finale look like, or you would want to look like for family members, people that have known you, all of the people that have followed you?
Well, I'm gonna say it like somebody said it to me. I heard a long time ago. I'm gonna do this until the wheels fall off.
Come on.
Okay, the day I stop doing this will be the day I stop breathing, probably.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because, like we was talking about, our communities, our children, our churches needed help and stuff like that out here. And as I have mentioned to you before we started the interview, I had 2 near-death life experiences that changed a lot of things for me. I almost froze to death, and a few weeks later, I had someone shoot through my windows right where I stand working. And it would have missed me by like 2 feet. And from that point on, I made a promise to our Lord that the rest of the time I'm on this earth, I will try to give back as far as knowledge in my craft, as far as me being a concert promoter. If we could do something for the city, the churches, the schools, or whatever, I'll use my resources and my platforms to try to raise money for the city as much as possible, because I could have not been here talking to you now.
Yes.
And it was 2 incidents in 3 weeks. And it made me realize that, whoa, you know, that was so close that you should not be here. And someone told me, I have a friend, her name is Meg Ray, she's an evangelist. I was talking to her about my experience, and she said to me, God ain't finished with you.
Yes.
He's got work for you still to do.
Okay.
And that's why you lived through both of those experiences. And that's why I want to make sure, as long as I'm here, now it's about giving back. Because I've done so many things bad in my life earlier when I was young, and mistreated so many people.
You were just a living being, huh?
Yes. But now I'm living, because like I tell everybody, I'm on a mission from God. Okay? I'm here for one reason and one reason now, to give back and help as many people as I can. Well, I have breath in me.
Well, that's a blessing.
I think,
I really,
I think we all can agree on this one accord. We salute you.
yes.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, because I don't get that a lot. I mean, believe it or not, I mean, there's a lot of people, because of I did things my way and I didn't fall into cliques and stuff, they're just really not feeling me. Because he didn't do it with us or our way and what we wanted him to do.
Of course.
But that's not the way God pushed me.
See?
Okay? He set the path for me. I'm only walking the path that's in front of me. I didn't pick it. I didn't choose it. You know, it was chosen for me. But I know now from my friends as evangelists and other people I've talked to, you know, that he gave you a reason and a purpose for being here. Hurricane included. You know, so I may not do things the way others want or the way they perceive that I should or could, but I'm doing things the way I think is best, that I can make a difference.
Okay.
It's your ministry.
You know?
That's what's important. That's what's
That's
important.
your music. I have several young men that are in mental institutions as we speak.
Okay.
They are rappers in their own right. They came out of the church. They played instruments in the church.
Okay.
And when it's twofold, we're talking about gospel music, and then it's called splitting the road.
Okay.
They're hurting all over the place because 1 minute they're on the keyboard at church, and then they love the rap. They love the music itself.
Right.
So what would you say to the parents of those children that are saying, you're playing in the church, you can't play with God? And then you're playing over here, and you're playing for the devil. So if you could say anything, because I heard you say you had praying families, you had a loving family. In order to have a loving family, somebody was holding on to some promises. And then you told us in your testimony, you told near death, freezing, substance abuse, but you came through it. So for those who are sitting behind bars, those who are in institutions right now because they didn't understand it, so they sedated themselves because they was caught in this whirlwind, what would you say to them?
Just believe in yourself. You gotta believe in yourself. Because no matter how things, this is how I look at it. No matter how things turn out, bad, good, ugly, or whatever, tomorrow can always be better. You know, whatever you went through today, you can know will come tomorrow. And the reason I'm gonna tell you a story about me and my father. It's about DJ. My father used to always tease me about when I first started doing this. Why you can't make no career out of this? DJing ain't gonna make you no money. You ain't gonna pay no bills, take care of no family, being no DJ. So when my father passed, he came down with pneumonia and he went into hospice. Like they say, he fought a hell of a battle because they say he was on hospice longer than any patient they ever had. So I had established my radio station in my home because I was working at the post office at the time. I had to take off work. I didn't go to work for almost 3.5 years. I just walked off the job. They told me that you can't take off because I said my father's dying. I'm the only child. His daddy lives with me. He depends on me for everything. And I need to take time off, even if I don't get paid for it. No, we're not going to approve that. No, we're not going to approve that.
Oh, really?
So I walked off the job for 3.5 years. I'm like, if we were talking about your parents, this wouldn't even be a conversation. So I'm all he's got. He's got to have medication around the clock every few hours. He can't be at home by himself. I have to go. So his last few years, we bonded in a way we never did. And like I said, he used to always tell me that you can't be no DJ and make a living out of this, blah, blah, blah. So I'm playing music in the house and he way in the back room, he hearing me. And one day, this was probably one of my most proudest moments too. He called me into the room and he said, son, I said, yeah. He said, I gotta say something. I said, what is it? He said, I never realized until now you're really good at what you do.
See that? And all it took was that statement from Dad.
And he was, like I say, he passed like 2 years later, but he was bedridden. He like, I sit here listening to you, because you hear me interview people, I'm doing interviews, I'm having guest DJs come over, other DJs, and he's like, man, I'm sitting up here listening to you, and I used to always tell you about how you couldn't do this, and this would never, but you made a living out of this. And I never realized till now that you are really good at what you do.
See, that was God.
To me,
Father.
that was special because it came from him right before he passed. And I'm like, he took notice.
Yeah.
That was special.
All right.
Okay.
It's been a great experience. This has been a great experience, and I'm glad to hear that because I pray that this air all over the world, and I pray that the mothers and the fathers, the grandparents who have shared with their children that their career, what they love and their desire, that they were not going to be able to make it. And you're a walking testimony.
I just say for the mothers and the grandmothers and the fathers and the sisters and brothers, support them.
Yeah.
Support them. If they have a dream, don't take it from them.
Don't take it.
Support them. Even if it never comes to fruition, support them and give them the opportunity at least to find out.
That's right. Let them find out on their own.
I could have went a lot of different ways. I could have stayed a musician, played guitar. I could have did a lot of different things. I did a lot of different things. But I always had the support that was saying, do you, be you. You know what I'm saying? And even though we don't understand it, we don't get your fascination with it, they always gave me that support.
That's all that counts. That's all.
And with the parents today, you may not always agree with what your child chooses as a career, but give them the support and give them the opportunity.
That's right.
Let them find out for themselves if this is their calling or not.
Thank you, Daryl. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you very much. We enjoyed this interview.
Well, other than the teardrops, because like I say, some of the stuff that we discussed, it really it hits to the heart because it's my true story. I have other stuff that I have two documentaries out about me. The stuff that I won't talk about here, but because I'm told that they might want to make a movie about me at some point because there's so much other stuff that I'm not telling you now. But like I said, at the end of the day, for me, my career came down to I have one of the DJs. His name is Mr. G. Me and him DJed together for about 40 years, different clubs. We fell out here and there. He came to Turn Radio. It worked. It didn't work. It worked. I kept letting him come back because he was my boy. But he said something to me one time, and we clashed on it. And I want to make this clear because it's going to what you're saying about giving people opportunity. We were going to do an event, and we had some DJs. They weren't the best DJs as far as, okay, I can play house music, I can play stepping music, I can mix, I can do any type. I'm very, very creative musically, and I'm on a wide scale. I can play so much different. I can do different types of music. So he's pretty much the same. So he came to me and said, we doing this event. We shouldn't let none of them perform. This should just be me and you. And I was like, why would you say something like that? He's like, no, because they're not on our level. People want to see me and you. They want to see us perform. And we the main ones. And you know, they just, I said, and I had to tell him. I say, I won't do that because just like you're trying to take an opportunity away from them, somebody gave us the opportunity. They didn't know how good we were or weren't necessarily when we were that young, and we were their ages. So now you're asking me to take away an opportunity that somebody gave us. I won't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because we were blessed by somebody taking a chance on us.
That's right.
So
that's how we all get where we're going. We step on somebody's shoulders. Absolutely.
You know, so I just don't believe in that. And that's why I say, just always give them the opportunity. See where it goes. You know, don't bust their bubble and take their drink away from them. Because that might be what saved their life.
Thank you for that advice. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to close of our show. I'd like to thank Mr. Daryl.
Master D. Coleman. Thank you. And thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And we'll look forward to seeing you again.
And I'll say something I said to you on the phone before we did the interview. This is an exclusive because I've never had anyone ever interviewed me before. Ever. I've done hundreds of interviews, but I've never given an interview before, ever.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. We're honored. Yes.
No, it's my honor. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Brought back memories for me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you again.
And I'm hoping that we can collaborate on some things and maybe do some stuff for the communities, the schools, the churches, maybe.
Oh, that will definitely be. That's a great opportunity.
And you mentioned that. We talked about that. That's a possibility. We will be talking about that.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. And like I said, I feel blessed that you even asked me to do it.
Oh, thank you. Ooh, I feel blessed that you allowed us to come and do it.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time.
And excuse my tears, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't expect it, but
There'll be peace in the streets.
There you go. There you go.
but if my story can help anybody, let there be tears.
Amen.
Okay.
I love it.
And you know, because you know that Oprah Winfrey, I wrote a piece about Oprah because every time she did a show, she always cried. And I said she cried buckets of tears, but she made it to the top.
Well, just call me Oprah Jr.
All right. That's a nice close. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir. Oh, that was nice. That was nice. Yes.